Greetings, Earthlets. It is I, Doktor Von Evil Dude. You can see I'm by myself this week. It appears GateKeeper had too many Halloween treats and is currently in bed, sleeping it off. But, as always, there are new releases to be looked at, so without further ado, let's take a look, shall we? Up first, from Archie Comics, we have Chilling Adventures in Sorcery. The future of Archie Comics starts here, in an all-new anthology-style one-shot. Madam Satan is our tour guide into this horrific world, exploring the underbelly of Riverdale and its surrounding areas. Madam Satan is trying to escape hell. She goes through the circles of hell in reverse. Along the way, she meets lost and tortured souls who tell their stories, like that of one Archie Andrews, who accepted a seemingly normal job as the nighttime security at Riverdale's local pizzeria and children's mascot entertainment venue, only to learn that the venue harbors a deep, dark robotic monster as secret. And then there's Jughead Jones, a teen who's never met a food he didn't like. Until now. What is that eerie noise coming from the kitchen? All that, plus more bonus frightful content sure to delight any Archie horror fans. Moving along to Beowulf Comics, we have Popstar Assassin. The year is 1977. The king is dead. The world mourns, but when a mysterious briefcase turns up in his dressing room, Bruce, a coke-addled Elvis impersonator, finds himself wedged between a mob boss out for revenge and a government conspiracy with far-reaching, world-ending ramifications, all in an attempt to discover the true identity of his father's killer. It's sex, drugs, rock and robots, 70s style, in this all-out action adventure. And now moving on to Dark Horse Comics, we have Hellboy, The Bones of Giants. When a startling discovery is made in Sweden, the BPRD sends Hellboy and Abe Sapien to investigate. What ensues is a wild adventure full of Norse legends, mythical creatures, a threat that could bring not just Earth, but the 9 realms of Norse mythology to their knees. Moving on to DC Comics. Their first new release this week of Batman Superman, The Authority. Following Mongul's brazen attack on Earth, Superman's world has been turned upside down. Conflict between Atlantis and the surface world, the discovery of an immensely powerful new element, dead refugees with mysterious ties to Krypton, and expulsion from the Justice League. When Superman reforms the experimental anti-establishment authority to join him in liberating Warworld, Batman comes to them with a request. Join him for one unorthodox, off-the-books mission first. One he never could ask the Justice League to be part of, and one he doesn't expect everyone to come back from. Staying with DC, our next new release is Dark Knights of Steel. An entire medieval world will be changed forever. When a spaceship crash lands from a doomed planet, monarchs will die, kingdoms will rise, and what seemed the end of the world for many was only the beginning. An epic high fantasy story set in a DC universe where nothing is what it seems. And our final new release from DC Comics this week is Human Target. Christopher Chance has made a living out of being a human target, a man hired to disguise himself as his client to invite would-be assassins to attempt his murder. He's had a remarkable career until his latest case protecting Lex Luthor when things go sideways. An assassination attempt Chance didn't see coming leaves him vulnerable and left trying to solve his own murder, as he has 12 days to discover just who in the DC universe hated Luthor enough to want him dead. Human Target is a hard-boiled, gritty story in the vein of the classic detective noirs told by best-selling and critically acclaimed creators Tom King and Greg Smallwood. And now, moving on to Image Comics, we have A Thing Called Truth. a chaotic LGBTQ plus road trip, a workaholic scientist who wants to save the world, and a woman who fears nothing but discovering her own destiny find themselves mixed up in a chaotic, on-the-road adventure throughout Europe. Will they manage to find middle ground between their opposing ways of life, at least long enough to complete their mission? And could this trip lead to an unexpected romance? Staying with Image Comics, we have the Magic Order 2. A magical turf war like you've never seen before. The London chapter of the Magic Order has entered the scene, and these tough Guy Ritchie-style gangsters have a problem with the Eastern European warlocks moving into their territory. Can new leader Cordelia Moonstone keep the peace? Celebrate the return of your favourite horror series with this sequel to the smash hit first volume. And now moving on to Marvel Comics. Up first we have the death of Doctor Strange, Avengers. With Doctor Strange gone, the Avengers are the only ones who can stop a rampaging juggernaut-like monster from wrecking all of Manhattan. But what does this mythical creature want? And how does the magic-skeptical Iron Man hold the answer? Up next, we have Strange Academy presents the death of Doctor Strange. Strange Academy is closed until the events surrounding Doctor Strange's death are resolved, so the students go back to their parents. Eric and Alvy's mum happens to be the Enchantress, so you know this isn't going to go smoothly. We're going to learn that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and more than just one realm is in trouble. All this and more with this Death of Doctor Strange tie-in. And finally this week, from Scout Comics, we have Swamp Dogs. They came from the swamp, the scummiest squad of Confederate soldiers brought back to life by powerful voodoo magic. They crave power, carnage, and female flesh. They are the Swamp Dogs. Now young lovers Anya and Violet, and their friends from the goofy stone and metal band, The Grunge, will unknowingly fall into their ghoulish nest in the House of Crows. Bear witness to a rollicking gore-fest straight out of the shocking grindhouse and revenge blaxploitation of the 1970s and the cult horror classics of the 1980s with a modern twist. Keep telling yourself, it's just a book. That's all of this week's new releases. So don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us at Wakey Comics 616. So until next time, hopefully GateKeeper recovers from his sugar overdose, shall we say. Until next time, Earthlets.